Dear students, in my first video, I talked about general tips on how to prepare for board exams, and the second one I spoke about time management, where I discussed with you, shared with you some of the techniques that you can use to manage your time well while you are preparing for board exams. As I had committed earlier, I am coming up with tips on how to prepare for specific subjects as well. So today I'm going to talk about how you can ace your English exam. I'll be talking about three different aspects of how you can ace your English exams. So the first one is going to focus on the answer writing techniques as to for the different sections, as to how you should approach the questions, what should your approach be while you're writing the answers, and then how would you manage your time in between the sections, how much time should you allocate to each of the sections so that you are able to complete your exam in proper time and with all the neatness that is required by the boards. And at the end, I'll be sharing some common mistakes that you should avoid while you are appearing in the exam. So do watch till the end. The first section, which is on comprehension, reading comprehension, and then there will be certain questions based on the unseen passage that you are expected to read and answer. So my first tip for this section A is that read the questions first. Take your time reading the questions. So the benefit is that when you are reading the comprehension, when you are reading the unseen passage, then while reading you get to know the answers will keep striking at the back of your mind. Okay, this was the question, so the answer lies here. And while reading, you can also underline some of the keywords that can be utilized by you while you are writing the answers of the questions which are based on this unseen passage. Don't copy paste, frame your own words, because examiners, they like students who use their own words, who frame their own sentences. So about part A, section A, read the questions first, then go to the comprehension, then go to the unseen passage. Read the comprehension, read the unseen passage, keep marking places where the answers strike to you, keep underlining keywords, and then again go to the questions and start writing your answers. So the key thing for you for success is that practice every day, at least one unseen passage practice. Section B, it will be on grammar and writing skills, creative writing skills, where you may be asked to write a letter or a report or maybe an essay. So the first tip over here is that please stick to the prescribed formats, whether it is by CBSE or for whichever board you are appearing the English exam. So stick to the prescribed formats, right? Keep your letters, reports, essays, or the article concise. Avoid unnecessary details. Your sentences should be clear and to the point. Use proper paragraphing. Divide your letter or the report or the essay into sections. The first, you should start with introduction, then the body of the article, and then the conclusion. Use simple, impactful language. You should avoid jargons or complex vocabulary, because in the process you might commit mistakes which may be related to grammar or spelling. Clarity is key. What you have been asked for, the topic on which you are writing the letter or the essay or the article. If you have clarity of thought and you can present it in simple and impactful language, then there is no need to use jargons or complex vocabulary. Again, the key thing is practice. Every day write a letter or an article or an essay every day, practice today onwards. Okay. Part C will be about literature, which is analyzing prose or poetry. You will be having books with lots of chapters on prose and poetry. So, while preparing, focus on the theme and the message of the chapter or the poem. Understand the story. There is no need to memorize the entire story. You have to understand the message that the story wants to convey, the theme on which the story is based. If you are able to do so, you will be able to write answers, framing your own sentences. Yeah, you will certainly have to memorize some of the important quotes which are part of these chapters, which you may be asked to write. A question might be there. So memorize important quotes, not the entire story, not the entire chapter. Right? Answering points. Avoid writing in a single paragraph. Put them in different, maybe bulleted points or numbered points as the requirement is. It depends from questions to question, and you will have to decide whether you need to write the answer in bulleted points or as a numbered point. There would be some chapters which would be based on characters. Pay attention to the character sketches. Questions will certainly come on some of the character based chapters as well. Dividing your time is very, it's a key thing that you should do, so that you can manage your time well while you are appearing in the exam. So my recommendation, this is my recommendation, it will depend from person to person as to how good are you in section A, B or C, but my recommendation would be section A, you should spend around 25 to 30 minutes, which was unseen passage, which was the comprehension part. Section B, grammar section, the grammar part of section B, you should spend around 20 minutes. Creative writing, spend more time, because then you need to think a lot. You have to frame your own words. So spend around 35-40 minutes in creative writing. Section C, which is literature, yeah, that will also take time. You need to recall what you have understood, what you have learned, and then write answers, frame in your own words, frame your own sentences. The last 35-40 minutes should be utilized. The first part, which is 15-20 minutes from the last 40 minutes, you should use for checking if the presentation is right. When I say presentation, it means whether you have written section A, section B, section C properly. Are your questions in the appropriate section? Are your answers in the appropriate sections or not? Underlining key parts. When you write section A, you should underline it, or section B, you should underline it. So that is presentation, which makes your answer sheet more neat, more presentable. Another thing that you could do to manage your time well is attempt the easier questions first. That will also boost your confidence. Okay, I know these many. If you are able to do around more than 50% of the questions first easily in lesser time, that will certainly boost your confidence to give more thoughts to the questions that require you to think and write. And of course, the last 15-20 minutes, as I said a while back, you should use for recheck. Check everything. Whether if there is a question which you thought you would do later, whether you have done it or not. Right? So that recheck part is very important. Some of the common mistakes that you should avoid one is writing too much. Some of the questions they mention that the answer should be in X number of words. So stick to the number of words, the word limit which is mentioned in the question. Don't ignore grammar and spelling. See if you have put proper punctuations wherever it is required. Check if the spellings of some of the complex words that you would be using, or maybe you are using some keywords from the passage. Check if the spellings are correct. Right? Structure your answers properly. Like I said earlier, that avoid writing in a single paragraph. When you're writing letters or essays, start with an introduction, put the body, and then conclude it. And avoid writing unnecessary details. And please do not leave any questions unattempted. Attempt all questions. There are no negative markings. Yeah, they may deduct marks for if you write in an inappropriate way, but there are no negative markings. So please do not leave any question unattempted. Stick to CBSE formats, as I said earlier, and if you want to see what are the formats prescribed by the individual boards, you can visit their sites. These are easily available. You can research on Google. These are easily available. You will be able to find them. And practice one unseen passage today onwards, one unseen passage every day, one letter or article every day, and at least 2 to 3 chapters from your prose and poetry from the literature section every day, because the exam is approaching very fast. So students, those were some of the tips to ace your English exams, and very soon I'll be coming up with some tips on sciences, which is scheduled on probably 20th for class 10th. So thank you very much for watching. If you need some more details on how you can prepare even better for your English exams, you can certainly write in the comment section, or you may text me over WhatsApp on 9717178452. Thank you very much for watching.